Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast, a football and pro wrestling podcast we bring you each and every week. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, and drop a like on the video, as we always do. Joining me, as always, tonight, my co-host, the Dazzler, Darren. How are we?
I'm all right, pal. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm getting very excited now.
I'm really good. I had a great weekend. It was so good, but I have to say, I'm a little bit jealous.
Only a little bit?
I'm a little bit jealous. Yeah, no, I'm a little bit jealous. I have to say, like, you guys all out getting your fresh beard cuts today and your little fades and all, and packing you our suitcase and changing you our money into dollars and all. And I was like, well, now, I said, this is a bit upsetting. This is a bit upsetting, you know.
I started picking out the figures for WrestleCon today, and I started sending figures.
That you're bringing with you
to the hotel. Yeah,
you're sending figures to the hotel.
Yeah, I bought a few figures on eBay.com.
Sorry, you bought, and I was thinking you were sending them from here to the hotel to bring to WrestleCon.
No.
I was like, whoa, this is a fucking
no.
Okay.
No, I picked up a few good ones as well. So when I have a few over there, I got an RVD over there. I got a Sergeant Slaughter G.I. Joe there. I got the Milko Mania there. I've got a few good ones. Fresh beard trim.
What's the headline acts at WrestleCon? What have we got?
Mike Tyson, Ronda Rousey, and...
Don't ever say Ronda Rousey's name in the same sentence as Mike Tyson's.
I'm just telling you the headline, who the headliners are.
I'm
not going
Ronda
near
Rousey's,
either of them.
Don't ever
I'm surprised
Ronda
she's
Rousey's
even
name
going.
in Mike Tyson in the same sentence as Mike Tyson.
I don't know about that.
What do you mean you don't know about that?
Well,
she's a hack.
Well, he's not exactly a stunner now, is he?
No, but he was able to hold up his end of the bargain when he came to the big dance, wasn't he? Unlike Ronda.
Depends on which big dance you're talking about.
Ronda couldn't sell floats with bloke drowning. She was fucking dire. Absolutely dire.
Well, I won't be going in here either of them anyway, as you well know, and stuff like
Would
that.
Would you not be an L Mike Tyson fan, no?
I would, but Fetterman's are doing his, and I think he's about 140 quid or something like that. So I'm really not that interested. I'm going to say I've lined up. I'm going to see the Dudleys. I'm going to see Slaughter. I'm going to see Rob Van Dam.
Did you manage to get the Dudley Hall of Fame Funkos?
Of course I did.
Good man.
That's the one that's getting signed. And I have the Milko Mania there, so that's pretty cool. I have what else?
You're catching up with me with the signed Milko Mania.
Yes, I am. But so few good ones there and stuff like that. And then Morris hit me up last night as well. So this time next week, I'm hoping to be having a sit down one-on-one interview with one Joe Hendry. So hopefully that's going to happen. Yeah, Morris is lining that up for me. And I think we're going to be going to TNA Unbreakable that night as well. So that'll be good fun. Should be always good fun. So we'll have a laugh at that. So yeah.
TNA is probably a step above AEW at the minute.
Well, I'd always have a soft spot from TNA from back in the day. Like,
yeah.
I've been to a lot of TNA pay-per-views. When it wasn't even cool, when TNA was barely known a little bit more than Ring of Honor back in the day. I was at Christian's debut. I was at Angles, I think. I was at the first lockdown.
You know what they've done amazingly over the years, TNA? They've always done a really good job of putting the belt on the right guy and able to elevate guys. Now, I know like at times it was quite obvious who should have been. But like, I would have felt that way about WWE at times, but they went in a different direction. You know, like, don't anybody tell me Ryback shouldn't have won a world title, by the way. Because that was, at one stage, what should have happened. Because that's what we wanted. And the feed me more and the top of it. Like, that was... But they pivoted and went the other way. Whereas, like, if that had been TNA, he'd have won that, and he'd have gotten his, and he'd have elevated, and I like that. I like that about TNA.
Yeah,
Now,
no, they're cool.
AEW is home of the hacks. That is, if you're a has been, if you're a was been, if you're a hasn't been, like, that is the place to go. TNA, or AEW, just they do their best to elevate nothing other.
Yeah.
I won't go any further. I'll stop.
Absolutely. We spoke about it last night on the show anyway, so we went through the whole Dynasty card and all, and a few other bits and stuff like that. So it was good, a good show last night, myself and Bren. So really, really enjoyed it. Let's take some comments. Let's not forget Arsenal could bottle job this.
Morris, I've got to tell you, man. I've got to tell you. Yeah, listen, like, as an Arsenal fan, you're probably like the Liverpool fans at the minute that are like, we could bottle this. But you're saying that just in case you end up with egg in your face. Liverpool are going to win the league, and Arsenal should go through to the next round of this. Let's be honest here. There's no, in the same way, like, I'm watching Man United here. We should go through this. If we don't, it's on us. But we're not gonna say, oh, our bottle jobs aren't like that. Liverpool are top. They're gonna win the league title. That's the end of it. Don't worry about having egg in your face. Same thing with Arsenal. Arsenal did a number on Real Madrid. For the game to finish 3-0, I actually think it works out quite well for Real, because Arsenal were dominant. Absolutely dominant.
Yeah.
All over the park, everywhere.
Every position
of it. Every position. Fully deserving of the result. Fully deserving of the scoreline. Hats off to Arsenal. I didn't see it coming, but when I'm wrong, I will hold my hands up. Arsenal, I applaud you.
The only thing I would say, right, and it's not in relation to that, I thought Arsenal were absolutely outstanding, right, to a man. All of them were brilliant.
Brilliant.
But not one Arsenal fan in the analysis afterwards mentioned that one Camavinga got sent off for kicking a ball away. I'd like to mention that when people were whinging earlier in the season and all, I'd like to mention a certain Camavinga got sent off for kicking a ball away, and it wasn't even mentioned.
It's always easier to look in other people's back gardens than look in your own. That's all I would say.
Not for me or you.
Yeah, but we're slightly different than most football fans. Now, like, here's the thing. He got sent off in the 94th minute. It didn't really play a huge hand part or act in the game the way maybe Declan Rice's did in the 50th minute against Brighton. It is different. But I understand where you're going with it. With the comparison.
Well, where I'm going with it is we're being told it's the PGMOL title for us this year and all this Liverpool and all this kind of thing. So is it the VAR Champions League now, or what's the story? Is this the worst Champions League campaign in the history of the tournament? Just like it's the worst Premier League.
Here's the only thing I will say about that, right? Sorry, this was annoying me. There we go. Now we got it. Here's the only thing I will say on that. This is the first year we've played under this particular format of Champions League. So it is a learning curve for a lot of teams, and it is different to, like, what referees, man. What's wrong with referees? If he gives us the first free, your man doesn't have to foul him, and then he doesn't have to produce a yellow card. There was a foul 30 seconds before that, you absolute sap. My God. I'm going to get to referees in a few minutes, because I've plenty to say about referees, don't forget. However, what I will say is this is the first kind of rendition of this song we've heard with the Champions League. So it is different. We'll see now, will the format produce a different winner? Maybe
I go on record to say I have no problem with the format at all. I really enjoyed it. I like the league's phase. I like the way it panned out. It was a little bit weird getting PSG and the way it all fell around and stuff like that. But it's fine. It's no problem. I've no problem with it at all. Just like the other night, I had no problem with Camavinga being sent off for kicking a ball away.
listen, here's the thing. You know, you're going to win a Champions League, right? You're going to have to beat a lot of good teams along the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, the year we won it in Moscow, obviously, we beat Chelsea in the final. We beat Barca in the semi. And I think it was Bayern we beat in the quarters, or it was something along that line. And you're kind of going, like, boom, boom, boom. You're having to land all the time. Roma in the quarters, and Barca in the semis. And then, you know, hang on. Oh, he's talking about. That's all right. Sorry. Whoa. I was like, have I missed something here? Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're 100% right, Morris. I agree with you. Everything about the books is terrible. This isn't a wrestling podcast, just so you know. The books are terrible. Everything about them is terrible. Their booking is terrible. Their costumes are terrible. Their music are shit. Their haircuts are shit. And they sell their shitty merch as well. Down with the books. And that's
there we go straight in now. We should be putting money on Arsenal now straight away to win the Champions League, shouldn't we?
I would say it's probably a safe bet now that Acers have said.
Because there it is. We're going to have to get this guy a roll of tape. All these lads with these hot tapes.
I'm happy enough at the minute because, yeah, roll them. Unlucky. I'm happy enough at the minute because my dark horse is still going pretty well here.
Who was that?
You're kidding me. You asked me who was going to win it on the show a few weeks ago. And I told you.
But listen, my mind is elsewhere at the moment. My mind is walking down the strip in Vegas. My mind ain't here.
I went for
Barcelona, was it?
I went for Inter Milan.
I went to Inter Milan. Yeah, Inter Milan, yeah.
They're 2-1 up away from home at Bayern. I imagine they'll finish the job off. And now they're probably looking at having Real out of the building, which opens it up massively. So now you could be looking at PSG, Inter, Arsenal, and who's the other one? Barca.
Well, Barca are true anyway. They're 4-0 up against Dortmund or something, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they're true anyway.
So you're looking at really Barca, possibly Inter, PSG were very good again.
Big up, Maggie.
And then also Arsenal. Like this opens it up. Is my dark horse gonna win? I'd be delighted if it did.
Well, listen, we may as well start with this then because you've gone into it, so we may as well start with it. So what do you think? You don't. I mean, we're thinking Arsenal here, aren't we?
We're thinking Arsenal, Inter, PSG, and Barca.
Don't give Villa a chance at Villa Park, no.
I do. I think the only issue I have with Villa at Villa Park is I was at Villa Park last week.
Yeah.
They were super in the first half. They went 2-0 up. And in the second half, they absolutely died in their knees and should have been pegged back to 2-2. Forest did everything but get an equaliser. And I think if they give away the same amount of chances against PSG as they did Forest, they'll be punished, which means they'll need to score certainly 3 goals. And I don't think they'll do that.
Yeah, so the issue is, can they keep PSG out, obviously, yeah.
And I don't think they can. We've given guys over the years, you know, hard times about this, that, and the brat's brilliant. Oh, you're kidding me again. What am I watching here? Like, referee, man. How was that free? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did you say was it the ref in the Chelsea game? The ref in the Chelsea game looked like the hair had been painted onto his head. He looked like your man. You know your man out of Lazy Town, the kids show, with the black hair.
Yes.
Yeah, he looked like him. It was perfectly done. All the lines were sprayed in. It was crazy. Is
it Sporticus?
There was something like that anyway. Big up, Static. Good to see you, man. Hope you are good. Acers. Town Army will destroy United comfortably on Sunday, I'd imagine that says. PSG will score at Villa Park. Yeah, that's going to be the issue.
That's what I think. Here's something I'm going to say, because again, we have gone in on lads over the years. And every now and again, we get stuff wrong. So again, like I said earlier on, when I get something wrong, I'm going to hold my hands up. Here's who and what I'm going to hold my hands up. Ousmane Dembele. He's been superb.
Yeah.
Like, this is the guy that Barca thought they paid 113 million for. They never got this guy, but this is the guy they thought they were getting. This is where your ceiling is, and this is where you see, that not all the time square pegs fit in square holes. Because at PSG, he just looks rejuvenated, re-energized. He looks a total different player. He's so interested and engaged in what he's trying to do out there in the pitch. He's been phenomenal. He's been one of the best players in Europe.
Well, sometimes we talk about that, don't we? We talk about how important environment is to a player. And when they feel comfortable and an arm around the shoulder and they're enjoying their football and they've got that freedom to play and all those kind of things. I mean, how many times have we seen players in the Premier League leave clubs? I mean, you guys have made an art of it at this stage. Players leaving, going to other teams and then just excelling there because it's what they want for whatever reason or another.
The other thing about that is, and don't forget, there is a little bit about maybe it's easier to do it at a so-called smaller club.
A lighter jersey.
Right, where it doesn't weigh as heavily on you. Don't tackle him there. That's very good, Lenny Euro. So I get that. That's a great ball. But surely you can outrun him now. Come on, go boy him. But he's been very, very good. He's been very, very good. I think you're right. The jersey weighs heavy on a lot of people at times. And listen, don't get me wrong. I'm sure that PSG jersey has its carries its significance and its weight as well. But it's not the Blaugrana, which is the Barcelona jersey. It's not that. That Barcelona jersey would have felt like wearing 10 stone on his back every time. Whereas now he just looks a bit freer. He looks a bit lighter. He's also injury free, which makes a huge difference. Because we did see snippets at Barcelona. We just never seen it over a sustained period. But at PSG, he has been awesome. Absolutely awesome. Look at this. Hit it. Oh! I tell you what, Euro's having a game, isn't he? He's just made a great tackle on the edge of the United box. And 2 minutes later, he's down the other end playing a 1-2 on the 18-yard line. And he gets the shot. He just tugs it wide of the post. But pressing high, real high. He looks a baller, this kid. Have to tell you. And I know we'll get to Sunday and stuff like that in the game, I'm sure. But he just looks a cut above some of the other pieces of the puzzle that we have, and you're looking at a guy and we get the corner kicks and United play 3 at the back, so it's either De Ligt or Maguire that plays as the middle, as the anchor, and then you have the 2 centre backs either side, and Euro's playing as the left sided centre back the other day, also the youngest of the 3 centre backs behind Maguire and Mazraoui. And at the corner he's standing and he's telling lads where he wants them, where they to go, what to do, and I'm like, This is a kid. This is the kind of leadership we need at the club,
Did you enjoy the clip of our Morris?
I saw the clip with Limo and Rusev's imitation, the rip-off Rusev.
The Castle Comer Earl Hebner. There we go. And Wrestling Show 2, 33% of tickets already sold in a few hours. Excellent. That's what we want to hear. Good stuff, Morris.
Put it in a good spot.
Good stuff. Right, so are you sticking with Inter Milan? Are you sticking with Laturo and the boys?
I'm sticking with Inter Milan. I think there's a lot of underappreciated Rasmus Højlund going off 72nd minute, replaced by one Joshua Zirkzee. Can I tell you something about Joshua Zirkzee now in a second, actually? I think Pippo Inzaghi is, I think he's different gravy. I think what he's been able to get out of that, Inter side is unbelievable. I think he's very underappreciated for the job he has done at Inter Milan. Simone Inzaghi, not people, but yeah, I think he's done a phenomenal job. I really do.
Yeah, I think he's he has a system of play, doesn't he? That's very recognizable. And he's structured it in a way where he can take a cog out of the wheel and put another cog in, and it doesn't fall flat in its arse. Nope. And that's very impressive when you see that from a coach. I have to say.
It's something we saw for years at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Where Klopp would take one out, put one in. And before that, it would be Fergie. It would be take one out, put one in. Oh, what a miss. Who's that? Tolisso. Oh, my God. What a great bit of play on the edge of the box. Little 1-2. Steps past 2 United challenges. He's on the penalty spot, on his left foot, open as a 24-hour century. And he pops the ball down the middle of the goal to Andre Onana, and it's so poor. Even Onana saves it.
What's your overall thinking at the moment on Rasmus? Not a great showing again tonight. Kind of struggling. We can see the boy is just confidence is just on the floor.
Strikers are always confidence players. Now, the one thing I will say about he's filled out a good bit. Which is possibly not something that's visible when you watch him on TV. He is filled out and thickened out quite a good bit, because in his first season he did look very little boyish. He doesn't look like that anymore. He's really putting in the work and building a physique for himself. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes I'm working on something and I don't necessarily get the fruition of it or the fruits of it, yeah? But a little bit down the road further, when the confidence is a bit better and when I'm playing in a team that I create more chances, that might work a little better for him, you know what I mean? And that could be United. That could be United.
Yeah.
Here's something I'll tell you about Joshua Zirkzee, by the way. United got a corner in the second half. Zirkzee had just come on, and of course, I'd say pretty close to the goal at Old Trafford and the Stretford end. Anybody that's seen the pictures before, I can almost touch the goal, the netting on the goal, if I have a little stretch.
That's just for now, by the way. They might turn them into hospitality seats as well and put you up in the far corner.
Great touch. Go outside. Don't go that way. Yeah. You get a corner of it. But when he came for the corner, he went and stood next to Ruben Diaz. Diaz is a big boy. Diaz didn't look so big standing next to big Joshua Zirkzee, I can tell you. First thing,
Xerxes a unit.
Yeah, well, he is a unit, and I knew he was stacked, but what I didn't realise is he was also taller than Diaz, which I didn't have him down for. Diaz is about 6'3", 6'4", and Xerxes was bigger than him, and it wasn't the sideshow bob hair, but he was also thicker everywhere. Now, he had a pair of shorts on, and they were wedged onto him. And I wouldn't say it was the fact that the shorts were too small. I'd say we don't make them any bigger, pal. But he was huge. He is a unit. Now, when he started moving at full tilt, it was like watching an Olympic sprinter. He was all muscle, all arms and legs. And you were like, wow, this is impressive. Like, for a guy of...
And no brain.
No, the brain is there, all right. Like, the brain is absolutely there with Xerxes. We know that. Like, there's no...
Obviously, big win as well for Bodo Glimt tonight, 2-0 up against Lazio. Lazio won the favourites in the tournament. Big up to Romy. Romy was in last night on the wrestling show. We delivered a bit of therapy to him because he wasn't too good after, obviously, Tuesday night's bashing, let's say. Ganacho died for penalty.
Just now? Haven't got that. Nothing's come in yet.
I haven't seen that in there anyway, yeah. So.
Oh, hang on. We've just won the ball back, though. Maybe we have it. No. I've got nothing yet.
No, not yet. Anyway,
Not
random
this
comment, and like, right. So let's get into the Premier League. Let's go down through. So we start off Man City, Crystal Palace.
Man City and Crystal Palace. Sorry, let me bring up my scores on the doors. Oh, you've done yourself up there like a kipper.
Acers meant in the City game.
There was a few doors for penalties. Sorry, Garnacho is now on the ball. We have a chance here. Come in. Now give it back out to him. That's not a good ball.
Nuts and the manager, Bodo is a G. Yes, Bodo have had a few good results, haven't they?
That's Kettle Knutson, and he's been linked with probably 5 to 10 Premier League jobs over the last number of years. And Bodo Glimt are a regular in European football. And anybody that's seen them play should know that this guy is going to do a major job somewhere. And I'm shocked that he hasn't been given a big job yet. Absolutely shocked. Now, moving on.
Who would he sue? Would he sue the Spurs?
Very much so. He plays a very attacking brand of football. Very quick, very fluid. Bodo Glimt score a lot of goals. And that would be somewhere it would work. And where else? Let me have a little look here. He would work. He would absolutely, and I think he may have been interviewed for this job previously. I think he'd do a phenomenal job at Brighton with, the kind of crown jewels that Brighton have available in the squad, and also with what gets recruited year to year and stuff like that. He'd do a lovely job at your likes of Brentford and probably Spurs, and if Andoni Iraola decides to leave Bournemouth, yeah, that's right. He's been linked with about 10 Premier League jobs. That's a free as well, ref. Did we get a free there? Tell me we got a free there. Had to get a free there. Yes, we did. Yeah, if Iraola, left Bournemouth, they could do far worse than replace him with Kettle Knutson. That'd be a great replacement.
Yeah, the likelihood of Iraola leaving as well would be on the back probably of a number of players probably exiting the building as well. So he might have an opportunity to put his own kind of shine on it as well in a fairly quick manner.
Yeah, well, I think I something came in earlier on. I was reading that there's up to 5 Premier League clubs interested in the boy Huyson.
No surprise.
And with good reason as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Carlo's last Champions League for us, man. It'll hit me when he's gone. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one, So, right, let's go. Man City, Crystal Palace. Otherwise, we're not going to get to anything else.
Man City, Crystal Palace. Swinging in, Bruno. Oh no! You win a free kick in a real good position, and I'm not going to get on Bruno's back because don't forget he is our guy. He's the guy. Oh, here we go. We're going for the throat. Bringing on Mason. Must be Garnacho getting the slip, is it?
Ugarte.
Ugarte. You know what that means, don't you? That means Bruno drops back in with Casemiro into the middle. We get Mount going up with Garnacho. And you'll get Xerxes, or you may even see Mount go as the false 9 and Xerxes drop as the 10. Mount looked very, very fresh when he came on the weekend, and so we should, by the way.
Morris, which will be the first, flying cars or Arteta signing a striker? You're definitely getting a striker this summer. There's no chance in hell.
See, the one thing we have to remember is it's not Mikel Arteta signing players. So, I do get the little bit of heat that he gets, Arteta, but he's also not doing the recruitment. So he can't go out and sign the players either. He has to wait and see what he's given. And I don't imagine he wanted to go this length of time without a striker because it's been ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. City and Palace. Palace, good weekend last weekend for them. Good win at home against Brighton in the L Derby. And City, I have to tell you, there's poor and then there's City. City were absolutely dreadful, Taxi. And City were absolutely dreadful, just dreadful. I spoke to you, obviously, Taxi, and the other day, like, City were never winning that game on Sunday. They were so poor. Like, we beat them from pillar to post, but just didn't create the chances or score the goals. But we were by far the better team, by far. You've obviously got Haaland injured now. You've got De Bruyne with his head turned on the way to warmer climates, let's say, and you've got Foden coming off with the injury the other day as well. So it's not a good version of Manchester City at the minute, I have to say. It's really not. If I'm looking for positives, I suppose the first positive for me would be the boy Nico O'Reilly. Thought he had a very good game for City last weekend.
Yeah.
Did very well in that left back slot. But other than that, like, there wasn't a lot to cheer about for City. There really wasn't. And I could see Palace getting something out of this. Now, obviously, it's at the Etihad, so, you know, I don't know if they'll get the result, but they might get a result. So I'm gonna go 2-2 here. Because I think Palace are a more potent side up front than we are with Sarr, with Eze, with Mateta. And I think City will give them chances.
Yeah, and I think actually when we looked at it last time, isn't Palace's form away pretty decent? I think it was marginally better than their home form, I think, or something last time we looked at it.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, Brighton Leicester.
Brighton Leicester's gonna have to wait because I need the loo.
Fair enough.
Which is very unlike me at this early evening, but I do.
Anyway, I'll rattle down through a few anyway.
I'll just knock off a couple of the shit ones, yeah.
Yeah. Brighton Leicester. I think this is a fairly easy one for Brighton, and it'll heap more misery on Leicester. I think Rio's gone in there, and it's been an absolute baptism of fire. I think they've been so poor, and I think maybe he was promised stuff, and that's why he went in, and they didn't deliver on it. And it's good luck to Leicester. Nottingham Forest versus Everton. I think is a real interesting game. Everton obviously on a pretty good run. Unlucky, of course, against us in the Merseyside derby, us running out winners. But I think against Nottingham Forest at the City Ground is a tough place to go as well. Forest will want to get back on the winning track as well. They don't want to be sliding in that top 5 position and stuff like that and all. So I would go for a Forest win in that. But I think it'll be marginal, and I think it'll be 2-1. Brighton, I think you could fill your hat on that one, obviously, against Leicester. I think Brighton will run out there. Could score 3 or 4, to be honest. Southampton versus Aston Villa, another one. Southampton know that they're down. Aston Villa, another team that'll want to keep on winning, especially if you look at the result against PSG. They may be coming out of the competition sooner rather than later, so they'll want to try and get back up into that top 5 position as well, so they'll be gunning for it as well. And then Arsenal versus Brentford is a really, really interesting one. What do Arsenal do here? I'll take some comments first. He's taking the piss. There we go. Palace are only focused on the FA Cup. I don't know about that. I wouldn't agree with that. Romy, I hate Leicester. I can't wait till they go down. Yeah, absolutely. They're that type of club, aren't they? When can Leicester be officially relegated? I don't think it's too far off, actually. I don't think it's this weekend, but did I look at it the other day and it's dependent on results, maybe 2 more matches or something like that. Brighton 2, Everton 0. Good shout, Joanne. Acers Villa will destroy Saints. Yeah, I think so as well. It's normally a tough place to go to. Obviously, with Villa playing during the week as well, but I think Villa, after that game, might be a bit of a wake-up call for them to be laser-focused back into that top 5 race. Nottingham Forest 4 against Everton. Big shout, Joanne. 4 goals. Everton don't really cough up those type of score lines. But again, a tough place to go. And 3-0 against Leicester. Yeah, I think so. It's going to be big. A couple of yellow cards being shown here in the game. 79 minutes in here. 1-1. Big game for United. They really got to win this and get that Champions League, don't they? Being one of them days, got my team sorted now. There we go, Joanne. Perfect. Roll me. Brentford get some revenge for us. Yeah, I think this could be one. I think if they're not doing it, I think they should. I think Arsenal should make some wholesale changes here, to be honest. Yeah. I think they kind of, if you look at it last week, even though we got beaten by Fulham and stuff like that, they couldn't have predicted that. But I think that's really, I think that's the way it goes. And I think Arsenal will probably ride off the league here and they will be laser focused on the Champions League. And rightly so. Rightly so. Aces Thanos, penalty to Athletic Bilbao. 2-0 to Bilbao. Obviously scored the penalty. Joanne's going for a 2-1 win to Brentford. I think so, Joanne. And I think maybe even a draw, but I think Arsenal should be laser focused on the Champions League. This is it. Don't be binning off silverware or doing nothing like that. Go for the Champions League. This is historic. If Arteta wins the Champions League, it'd be unbelievable. I hope Man United get knocked out of this cup. Of course you do. You're a Liverpool fan. I wouldn't expect any less off you. Isaac going having a field day against United on Sunday. We shall see. We shall see. United are probably in the same boat as well. They shouldn't be overly concerned about the league. I know you want to move up your league positions and get results because obviously there's a little bit more money there and all, especially at a time in United where money is so sensitive. But I think it's really, really important that United stay focused on the Europa League because they're going to have a really difficult summer if they don't have that 50, 60, 70, 100 million, whatever it is the Champions League brings. And no European football would be an absolute horror show for them. Bilbao, you beauties, my Europa League finalists. There we go. Morrison, the battle for second is heating up. It is, and it could be. And you know something? It wouldn't matter really if you come second or third. It's kind of irrelevant. Would you be really worried if you came third in the league and you won the Champions League? I don't think so. Slot gonna destroy League Gunner on Sunday. Slot gonna destroy League on Sunday. Slot gonna stuck. Must be a number 2 for Darren. Not too sure. I'd take much longer than that anyway if it was me. Then we move into Sunday. We got Chelsea versus Ipswich. Chelsea will certainly want to build on the result tonight and start putting some points on the board because they're just in around that marginal. If you look at their results over the last, say, 10 games, they're sort of looking at potentially finishing somewhere between 6, 7, and 8. So they're going to have to break that down and try and put some points on the board to make sure they stay right in that top 5 race. Very important for Chelsea as well, especially, with the things they're having to do, like selling the women's team and the hotels and all this kind of stuff. And as we spoke about before on these shows and stuff like that, eventually you run out of stuff to sell and then, the chickens come home to roost.
Sorry about that. My humblest apologies.
Give us your breakdown. We're in Sunday anyway, so give us your break. I was saying, to go back just on Arsenal and Brentford, I was saying, Arsenal should really make a number of wholesale changes here and protect their players for next week. I know they're 3-0 up, but it only takes like a dodgy goal and a dodgy penalty decision, and all of a sudden you're in a horror show again.
There's a couple of players who shouldn't see the light of day. If I'm a Bukayo Saka and I'm just coming back from injury, double change on the way here, Kobbie Mainoo and Victor Lindelof coming on. For United here.
And remember for Arsenal as well, you had a number of players hobbled off the other night. Rice hobbled off the other night and stuff like
Absolutely.
That. And also,
so you definitely don't need to be involved in certain players. That's nonsensical. For me. And Saka would be one. Saliba, believe it or not, would be another for me because obviously with Gabriel not being available for the second leg. I think Saliba being available is extremely important. So for me, I sit down Saka, I sit down Saliba, I possibly sit down, David Raya, and I maybe even sit down Declan Rice and just say, lads, just take the time off, get yourself ready mentally, physically, and let's go and finish the job,
Yeah, I think so as well, And I have to say as well, you mentioned Saliba there as well. I thought Kivior the other night as well was outstanding.
Did very well, but hasn't got the mileage in his legs that Saliba does. So that's why I'd be happy to see him.
But certainly, I looked at Kivier the other night. That was probably his best performance in an Arsenal shirt, I think. Anyway,
I don't think that'd be hard though either. He hasn't put in too many. He's been fine. He hasn't coughed up an awful lot, but I think it's been very uneventful. Harry Maguire just replaced by Victor Lindelof. Same change as we made the other day. He did the exact same thing. He took off Maguire and he brought on Lindelof. Lindelof did well the other day. Hopefully he does it again this evening. And then we have seen Kobbie Mainoo come on for Alejandro Garnacho. So that will probably mean Mount and Fernandez as the 10s and Casemiro and Mainoo in the midfield and Xerxes then up top. So back into shape, so to speak. Bruno coming back out of midfield, trying to add a little bit of guile, I would imagine, in the last 10 plus minutes going in here, you know.
I agree, Keith. They do still have a chance, and we know what Real Madrid are capable of on their day, and that's 100%. Hence the reason I'm saying there's no war here in the Premier League anymore in terms of Arsenal and stuff like that.
No. Well, it shouldn't be.
And it doesn't even really matter, even if it does a difference between them and Nottingham Forest, because at the end of the season, if you pick up that Champions League, who cares? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Who cares? You know?
Absolutely.
But yeah, absolutely. All it takes is one dodgy goal or a penalty. I just said a red card. Anything can happen. We know that. I see a 4-0 win for us against Arsenal. Wow. That's a show.
That's very fronty considering how poor Real were and how good Arsenal were the other night. That's all I'll say, Romney. Would I be shocked to see it? Absolutely not, because I know how big a football club Real Madrid are, and nothing would shock me with Real Madrid, especially in this competition. But I think it's a huge statement to make after the other night's performance.
So many players were anonymous. Look at Bellingham. Bellingham nearly didn't even kick a ball in the whole game. You know what I mean? It's these have been the guys, and you look at Mbappe up front, literally did nothing bar that one chance and one run. I think Rodrigo did nothing. Vinny Jr. wasn't barely in the game at all. Like, there was so many lads didn't show up, but it's another week. It's at home. It's in the Bernabeu, and these guys could show up. And we've seen what Mbappe can do. We've seen what Vinny can do on home turf and stuff like that, and they'll be up for it as well. They won't want to just bow out of this competition. They're the defending champions as well. They will not want to bow out in this shape or fashion, because this is the way they don't do things. We revere Real Madrid.
Right block, Victor Lindelof. Right block.
They can play Odegaard as he's crap.
Definitely not crap.
Yeah. And should probably be rested, because he's been in a lot of mileage. Roy should be captain. He's got winning mentality.
I've got to say, we all had a lot to say when Arsenal went out and paid all that money for Declan Rice. Money well spent.
It just goes to show that sometimes you shouldn't settle for your second choice, and you should go just spend the money. You know, and
absolutely.
That's
and at times, don't forget, we're very critical of his price is overinflated because he's
we did it with Van Dijk. Remember, we did it with Van Dijk. We waited.
And like, listen, he's phenomenal. He's absolutely phenomenal. He's very, very good. Has been, and I think the other night, I don't think anyone imagined he would score the first one, let alone ping the second one in. And that was lightning striking twice, but he's been very, very good. Very, very good, I have to say.
Yeah. I wouldn't go as far as to say he was anonymous, Morris. I think everyone did really, really well. Goal for Man United.
Hang on.
You can give us the rundown.
I will. The ball's with Diogo Dalot in the full-back position. He's passed it in. It's now with Victor Lindelof in the centre-back slot. Lindelof is driving towards the halfway line. There's not a whole lot of movement out in front. Lindelof has the ball at his feet. He's given it to Lenny Yoro. Yoro's popped it inside. It's gone back to Lindelof. Lindelof has it at his feet. He's played the ball over the top. Defender nicks it. Mainoo gets the second one. It's gone to... Hang on. Oh, Joshua Xerxes! Now, let's just pause for a moment. I think we could be in a situation here with offside. I think I'm pretty good at this.
It's under review.
Is it?
Under review. Yeah.
It's
Morris
under review.
Morris wants to know, what did you make of Matage's comments the other day? I thought he was spot on. I thought with the way Onana came out, I thought he was spot on.
Have I just seen a Glazer in the... Oh, he's on there. Now, hold. No, this will be given. This is given. It was actually Mainoo's knockdown. But that's a great header, by the way. What was I just telling you a minute ago? About...
I think the goal was given, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it's been given.
Yeah,
it's a great header, by the way. But what I just said to you a few minutes ago was I couldn't believe how big this guy was. I couldn't believe how big he was. Now, he doesn't jump at the back post and buries the header. He doesn't jump. Watch the goal. That's a great header.
Yeah.
Right,
let's get back in here.
Matic was correct. Onana shouldn't open his mouth. And somebody tell me why the Glazer is in the crowd. Why is Joel Glazer in the crowd? He hasn't got the nuts to go to Old Trafford, but he's sitting in Lyon in the stadium. You sad, sad little man. Get out of our club. Get out now.
He could be over there meeting Ratcliffe at Nice.
Get out of our club.
Liverpool versus West Ham.
Man. Liverpool, West Ham, Liverpool. West Ham don't look like they're winning an argument at this stage. I'm not holding that on Graham Potter, because I think next season we'll see a completely different West Ham. But I think, again, it's another one of those situations where it's square pegs, round holes. He needs lads to do certain jobs, and he doesn't have the players there to do the jobs he wants.
I seen the story there today. Jared Bowen open to a move to Liverpool. I bet he is. I bet he is. Wolves versus Spurs. Ryan was in the other night, absolutely delighted now that they've put that gap between the relegation battle now, and they look like they're going to be okay.
Delighted for Ryan.
Yeah.
Delighted for Wolves. Wolves have some good players. Don't be surprised. It's brilliant from Cobby Mainoo. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, one more. One. Go left. Do it quicker. Okay.
Oh, this lad's like Joe Hendry. You mention his name and there he appears. There we go. Good evening, lads. Good timing, I tell you. Absolutely spot on, Ryan. Couldn't be any better.
Ryan, it's great to have you, pal. I just need to touch on something very quickly, because obviously, am I right in saying Ryan is from Wolverhampton? Do I have that right? Hit it.
I think he is.
Oh. Ryan, let us know where you're from, pal. Just write it in the comments here. Get in, second one. Oh. Where are you from? Delighted for Ryan, delighted for Wolves. Lots of good players at Wolves. But I'm going to touch on something now with Ryan, because I like Ryan. He's a good guy. He's here every week for us. So, big respect.
He's from near Wolverhampton. Yeah, we knew that, yeah.
Yeah, I had an idea, Ryan. So I was over your neck of the woods last weekend, Ryan. I was at the Villa Forest game on Saturday. And the only thing I can say is Birmingham. Wow, what a shithole. What a shithole. Jesus, my God. It's the only thing I can describe it as it was like a war-torn country, Birmingham. Now, I did hear since I've been home, there's an issue with the bin men at the minute. They haven't done collections in Birmingham city centre in 3 to 4 weeks, maybe. So this probably didn't add to the ambience around where we were. But Villa Park and where it's situated, and it was like a war-torn country. I was in shock.
You know, Birmingham. Birmingham is another one of those cities that has been left behind.
It's very cultural. It's very
but it's also been heavily left behind by the British government for years and years and years. You know what I mean? It's another one of those cities.
Again. I'm struggling here. Sorry.
I shall take over then. Where are we? Morris Birmingham is an absolute kip. 5-0 Newcastle. Man U are going to get undone. We shall see. Thankfully, I don't live near that dump. I'm about 40 miles from Birmingham. Birmingham feels like the bat that Ozzy took a bite off. Good Lord. The imports have killed Birmingham. Let's just say that. The tariffs. Dodgy. Yeah, that's but yeah, let's get into Wolves versus Spurs. I think this has a Wolves win on it. I think if Spurs get over the line tonight, I'm not sure what score it is in the Spurs games. Are they ahead or are they behind? Let me know. But I think it's a tough one for Spurs. Going to Wolves as well. I think Wolves will be buoyed by recent results and stuff like that as well. And I think Wolves might just have a bit too much for them. Newcastle versus Man United. I think Newcastle see themselves bang in the middle of that. It's a draw, is it? Draw 1-1. There you go. That's not gonna help their plight at all. Birmingham makes Chernobyl look like paradise. Jesus. I spent the summer over in Birmingham. It was one of the World Cups. It might have been 82. Leon just scored 2-2. Darren won't be happy when he comes back. But I spent the summer over there. I was working on a farm. My dad was over there. He used to race greyhounds. And we used to race greyhounds in Wolverhampton at the track. Always a great night out and stuff like that and all. And he had a lot of winners over there as well. But I think it was either the 82 or the 86 World Cup. I'm not too sure. Probably 82, I'd say. I would have been 10 at the time. But we were over there for a week or two. And it was great fun. I always remember spending time with the dad and stuff like that. It was pretty cool and stuff. But yeah, absolutely. These are forgotten cities, you see, and they're just left. You know, it's crazy what happens. Big Angisilla fraud anyway. Well, he sure is. It's what we do, mate. It's what we do. Well, you see, after this game, if he loses, his chin will be on the deck. Have you seen his interviews recently? The man looks like he's about to just pass out at this stage, looking at what he's at. But yeah, 2-2 at the moment, Leon and Man United. Dazzler's diarrhea. He may do. I don't know. Birmingham looks like a dodgy kebab. Cunha's back for Wolves. I wonder, will he get back in the 11, considering we've won 3 games in a row? Surely he goes back in. Yeah, surely he goes back in. What a baller. Birmingham full of Muslims. Yeah, I mean, you're going to get that. You're getting that in every city in the UK and stuff like that. I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is, like a lot of cities north of London, they just, they don't get the funding that they need. They get left behind. They get ran down and stuff like that. If you go back and look at the old industrial situation over there in the UK and all, a lot of cities just got left. We've seen Liverpool in the same situation as well, when the whole docks situation and all the Docklands went and stuff like that. It was the same thing for years. That's why there's such angst about it at times now. Ange gets on my nerves, absolute prat. Yeah, absolutely. Onana howler again. I didn't see the goal now, so but you're telling me it's an Onana howler. Where are we now? What am I missing? 2-2, Darren. Another Onana howler, apparently.
I got the
Yeah, Ange cupping his ears to his own fans, and then the goal being disallowed was just peak, wasn't it? Absolute peak. I need to be a counsellor in Birmingham, I think.
Sorry, did Ryan say anything about it while I was gone?
Yeah, no, he just made he made the point on the Wolves game when I gave the prediction about Cunha maybe back and stuff, but will he go back into the starting 11 after missing the 3 games? And they won the 3. So yeah, that was
Did you mention that about Birmingham being a shithole? Sorry.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he said that earlier. You were there for when he said that.
I wasn't.
Were you not? That's way up.
I left the building for a minute. Oh.
Birmingham, Romy said Birmingham feels like the bat that Ozzy took a bite off.
Oh man.
He said, Ryan said, thankfully I don't live near that dump. I'm about 40 miles from Birmingham. So there you go.
Did we? I don't think we. Maybe Ryan knows this, but I was lucky enough, or we were lucky enough, to stay the night in St. George's Park on Saturday night. The only thing I can say is, wow. It was just amazing. Like, what a facility. From driving in the gates, you drive down, you know, Sir Ralph Ramsey Way, and as soon as you drive in, it's pitch after pitch. There's floodlights, there's stadiums, there's dugouts. It's just top quality. The FA have done a phenomenal job creating a hub in the middle of the country there for English football. Just on the fact that you can, as a fan, go and stay there is amazing. Like, we stayed in a room, and 2 of the England Lionesses were staying in the room next door to us, which is just bizarre, you know. It's bizarre, but it was great because, you know, we're football fans, and that's what it was about and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But very good. Amazing facility. Not a million miles. It was 45 minutes drive from Villa Park. There was a bit of traffic there, so it's probably not that far. Ryan's probably not a million miles away. He might be the other direction, but I'm sure he's been around it or knows what it looks like and whatever. And top quality facility, you know.
Give us 2 quick predictions there. Newcastle versus Man U.
Newcastle, Man U. I'll tell you what I predict.
Please.
I predict he starts with Bayender.
Someone say he should be doing that for the rest of the season, but however.
I predict he starts with Bayender. And head and heart. Newcastle 2-1.
Yeah, it has the hallmarks of a Newcastle win at the moment. They're playing well at the moment.
I think we'll be in it as we have been in a lot of games, but we'll just fall short as we have in a lot of games because we just don't have, you know, the tools to do the job.
Well, I tried to get a hotel in Dublin for Oasis in August, £300 for one night. What the fuck? Do you know what you do, Romy? You know what you do?
Hit me up on Instagram. Yeah. Darren McCumisky. And I'll find you a place to stay for half that. And as we live here, we know where we're sending you, so we won't send you anywhere that won't. All you need to be is on a dart line. That's all you need to be. You don't need to be in the city centre. Send us some details, give us dates, whatever. We'll find somewhere for you, and we'll know, you know, it's going to be somewhere safe and it'll be within touching distance of the stadium.
You get a beautiful hotel for half that price.
Half that, 100%.
Yeah, don't feel you have to stay in the city centre. You don't. And a matter of fact, myself and Darren would advise you not to.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
It's not too far from me. It's lovely. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, St. George's Park. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Make sure, Romy, when you're over as well, drop into the shop.
100%.
Drop in, say hello. And all. It's always good to meet people and stuff like that and all, you know. Round it out, Bournemouth, Fulham.
Bournemouth just getting back to winning ways because obviously they've been a little bit sloppy over the last few weeks and stuff like that with results. But I think they'll get bodies back, and I think it'll just be enough to help them get over the line against Fulham.
Right, we heard news today. I wanted to get your thoughts on this. 2 boys look like they're about to extend or renew, and we still think Trent is going out the door. And this is kind of what we predicted and what we thought would happen.
Yeah.
What did you think of this, or how do you think of this now in relation to summer transfer plan? What happens now? Does it change things greatly, or because I was saying last night when Ornstein and all announced this that it was kind of imminent and stuff like that. I was saying, right, both these boys are going to extend for 2 years, so we should be really looking at replacements now to bring in.
Absolutely. However, there's other issues ahead of that, I would say. You know, you need a replacement for Trent to back up Conor Bradley. You need to sell Tsimikas and get a left back to start ahead of Robertson. no chance you're over in the UK this weekend. I need somebody to jump in nets. For what, Ted? What
He means for United, I'd imagine.
Oh, sorry.
After the two howlers. I'd imagine that's what he
scratching
means
my head.
anyway.
Well,
Yeah,
actually, it's funny because the ball City had a corner the other day. And again, I'm very close to this action. And City had a corner, and the ball came into the 6-yard box, and he's got his two heels stuck on the goal line, and he's like this with his arms. And I just absolutely lost it. You know when you lose it way beyond you should, and everybody else within about 50 feet just went dead silent as I unloaded on him, to the point where he just stopped and went like that and side-eyed me over his shoulder. And I was like, and I'll tell you exactly what I said. I'm like, you're fucking 6'2". You have the use of your fucking hands, and that 6-yard box is yours. There's no one fucking else can jump and catch the ball. Get off your fucking line and go and claim the ball. It's a fucking 6-yard box. If me 10-year-old did it, I'd tie him to the back of the car and drag the fucker home. Like, just...
It's terrible, isn't it?
Treating your own. What is somebody that cost 50 million and on 150 grand a week? How can somebody not do something as basic and as simple as take a fucking cross in a 6-yard box?
They spoofed you. He was a ball-playing goalkeeper. They spoofed you.
Fuck's sake.
It was like us with Arthur Mello, and kind of like he was.
He's a ball-playing goalkeeper, right? And he, more than anybody, got us in trouble on Sunday by playing silly passes into the wrong positions at the wrong times and inviting pressure. Four different players. Mazraoui, Fernandez, Maguire, and Casemiro all went into the box and asked them, what the fuck are you doing? Are you trying to cost us a goal? At separate times in the same half.
Yeah, he does spot on, Romy. Good show.
Like,
laughs his bollocks up when United came in from that. Can't play the ball either. I'm always amazed at how he never finds a player on the wing. He always kicks the ball out of play. You know, for a guy who's practicing this all week long, like.
I'd keep Onana ahead of Ramsdale.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd actually prefer Fred West than Aaron Ramsdale.
Or just Fred. You were a big Fred fan.
I was a huge Fred fan. I'd actually start digging up fucking patios to get Fred West ahead of Aaron Ramsdale.
He would 100% take Luna. 100%. Don't even joke. 100%. So yeah, getting back to summer transfer, what do you think? They're still gonna have to.
You still need 5, right? Right back, left back, centre back, hold midfielder, striker, number 9. Yeah, 5.
Yeah,
still need 5. What will you do? I don't know, but you absolutely. Oh my God, what was wrong with this lad? You're kidding me here. I've just seen the second goal. Really, again?
For Leon.
Yeah.
He's bad. He is bad.
Oh, man, come on. You go away from home. You keep things relatively tight. You score 2 goals away from home.
You try and take a lead
good
back.
Performance, and you go home with a draw because this lad couldn't save Cyril the Squirrel stamps. Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, it must be for lads who put in a shift there. When you see the likes of players there who are putting in a shift.
Lenny Yoro is doing the interview now, and he looks so disconsolate.
Now you see why I'm asking, are you available? We should be coming back 2-up, and yet we are coming back level from conceding 2 goals like that. That's been the story of the season, hasn't it?
I made a bold prediction the other day. I was talking to a fellow Manchester United fan, David Dent. David's in here regularly enough.
Just be in the chat, yeah.
And I was talking to David, and I think we could be in a position where all 3 of United keepers leave in the summer. All 3 of them. Tom Heaton is leaving. We know he's leaving. He's already told us he's leaving. We've already agreed that he's leaving. So he'll be replaced by a younger keeper who's, coming up through the academy and stuff like that. Bayinder will leave because he won't be guaranteed the number 1 jersey, and he wants to make the Turkish national squad, and he wants to play in the Euros next summer, and he's 100% right. And Onana will leave because he's shit.
Looking at a few quid, wouldn't he?
Well, so if you replace with the academy keeper, my theory is you go to Burnley and you give the 20 to 25 million for the boy James Trafford.
Yeah.
Who's in the England's senior squad at the minute and has been for quite a while.
Bring him back to Manchester.
And you bring David De Gea back on a free 2-year deal.
Oh. Mic drop. Can't go back there, can you?
Why? What did you do wrong?
I didn't say he did anything wrong, but God, like, you gotta push forward, don't you?
He will 110% be in the Serie A team of the season this year. 110%. Go back.
Man City have a boy back.
No, you missed one with Ted. Nah, it's the one that says DDG on it.
Says what?
David De Gea. DDG.
Where back is that?
You just showed it a second ago, like 10 seconds ago on the screen.
Oh, that's only after coming up, yeah. Sorry.
There you go. I think that's what will happen. I think we might bring in Trafford and De Gea and promote a junior keeper. You've got Trafford for your long-term number 1. You've got De Gea as a safe pair of hands. While Trafford finds his feet and has able backup, and he gets to finish the story the right way this time.
Man City have a buyback option on Trafford. Is it a buyback option or is it a sell-on clause?
They probably have both because they have both with Liam Delap as well. However, what I will say is I'm not sure if City will go that way this summer. I certainly think Ederson will probably leave, but I'm not sure if they'll go the James Trafford route.
I think Ortega has said he's leaving as well, hasn't he?
I don't think so.
I read it the other day.
He's certainly looking to be number 1, so it will depend on that. Now I know Bayern Munich are very interested in him.
Yeah, and I read the other day he was looking for a move, Ortega. So
was it the Waterford whispers again?
No. It was after.
Ben Jacobs.
No. Cody Rose and De Gea finishing the story.
That's it, Morris. That is it.
They have a buyback on Trafford and a sell-on clause on Liam Delap.
They both on both.
Both on both, I'd say. Right, this came up the other day. Give me your thoughts on this, right? And I know it's always a contentious thing, and I don't have a kind of an interesting one. Let us know in the chat as well what you thought of this. But the thing came up the other day, obviously after Arsenal beating Real Madrid, was if Arteta went on and won the Champions League, where do you lie on this? Which is bigger, the Champions League or the Premier League? And that debate always goes on. And then the question was, if Arteta won the Champions League, would it be bigger than Slot winning the Premier League? give me your general thoughts on this. I don't have a thought either way. I didn't lean one way or the other, to be honest.
Well, I don't necessarily have a horse on the race. Yeah. And if this Liverpool title hadn't been their second title, let's say, I would have said that slot winning the league with Liverpool was bigger. However, the fact Liverpool won the league 2 seasons ago,
yeah,
I think Arsenal winning the Champions League would be bigger because of the lack of success they'd had.
Oh, well, it's more than 2 seasons ago. Sure, City are on 4 in a row.
Well, you know what I mean.
It's 5 seasons ago.
COVID, yeah.
It's 5 seasons ago.
Yeah. And Arsenal's obviously lack of success, it would be huge. Plus, don't forget, Arsenal have never won a Europe. There you go. Have never won a Champions League. So I think it would be bigger for Arsenal to win the Champions League.
Okay, so park that then, right? That you're leaning towards Arsenal on the Champions League, and I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, which do you think is like when you're looking?
I think it's very dependent on what club you're talking about. Like Champions League, it's sort of Liverpool's competition, whereas the league hasn't been.
So do you think in terms of Liverpool, do you think the Premier League is the bigger team because the Champions Leagues are already in the trophy cabinet kind of thing?
I think so, yeah.
So it depends. It's a club by club kind of thing, not a general.
Not a general rule. Again,
so what would you feel for Man United then? And I know that's a hard one to call because you've had a decade of fucking turbulence and all.
But you see, I think a Champions League would be bigger for us because we don't necessarily have the number of Champions Leagues in the closet that you guys have, or that Real has.
Joanne, you couldn't sack him if he won the Champions League. You couldn't do that. You'd be putting a trophy of him beside Henry at this stage if he does that. Some amount of disrespect on Liverpool's title win. Yeah, but look, listen, we get it. I think the Champions League is the biggest club competition, so I'd always pick that.
I'm a firm believer it's the biggest club competition in the world. So it does have that. But I just think with the significance of, say, the lack of league titles Liverpool have had in the last 35, 40 years in comparison to the lack of Champions League, like you've won more Champions League than you have league titles. So therefore, winning a league is bigger for you guys. On the other hand, we've won more league titles than we have Champions Leagues. So the Champions League will be a much bigger trophy for us. So I think it's very subjective, but I do think it's club to club rather than.
What do you think of Ted's point? What do you think of Ted's point here? He's talking about the consistency of winning the league. You know?
Yeah, like the Champions League is what you would describe as a cup competition. So, that's how teams like Chelsea won it. It's a cup competition.
Bundesliga, it's the biggest, tell the truth, lads. I'm a hard bitch, me. You sure are, Joanne. You're a hard taskmaster, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
You'd sack your manager. That's Chelsea levels. That's Chelsea levels. Come on into this tunnel here and have a chat with you. Thanks for big ears, but out you go. Roberto Di Matteo, huh? Who doesn't want to win a fry-up silver platter?
Put your sausages over here, or your schnitzel.
Oh, what about him getting the cannon for the golden boot, is it? They give him a cannon and Arsenal. Like, it's mad, isn't it? It's mad when you think about it. Scottish League is the biggest, according to Darren. No, hang on. Easy.
Try and paint me with anything in here, wouldn't he?
We won't get to League of Ireland. So I'll give my predictions in a little video tomorrow, a little short, because we'll want to get onto our bets. Yeah, that you didn't do. You totally forgot, didn't you? You could have done them when you were sitting on the jacks.
I'm gonna need it again in a minute. It's not good. I've been a bit ropey like this all week since I got home from my little trip.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just waiting for mine.
You know when you go away somewhere for say 2 or 3 days like that, and you eat all these different foods that you wouldn't eat day to day type thing, and it's all slushing around in there. It's not good.
No, it's not good. I'll give you mine anyway then, yeah?
Okay.
Right, so I started off with a little accumulator. It's 155 to 1. So I took your lead on it. Man City and Crystal Palace a draw. I went Nottingham Forest to beat Everton. I went for Brighton. Brighton -1 against Leicester in the handicap. I went for Aston Villa -1 against Southampton. And I went for Arsenal and Brentford a draw. That pays 155.
I like that a lot.
Not a bad one.
And I don't usually like a whole lot of your bets, but I like that one. Will you send me that one?
I will, yeah. I'll send it to you on WhatsApp. Don't worry, no problem at all.
Hansel.
And make sure, Ted, you're dropping your bet in there if you have your one for us as well. I did a League of Ireland one as well. I went Galway. Result in both the score. Galway over Sligo Rovers away at Sligo. I went for Derry versus Drogheda. Both the score, but a draw. Shells versus Bows is obviously the big one this week. It's the London Derby. The Dublin Derby. London Derby. Have Arsenal on the brain. Dublin Derby. I went for, again, a draw. Both the score and a draw. And then I rounded it out with Cork City entertaining St. Pat's Down and Turner's Cross. Cork a little bit on the slide at the moment after a good start to the season. But at Turner's Cross, sometimes different gravy. So we went for both the score and a draw on that as well. And that pays 437 to 1.
They're some odds, aren't they?
They are. And not a stretch either.
I don't think there was any stretches there. Was there really?
No, I went then. I did a player to be shown a card, which is your favourite bet. This coming in at 200 to 1, right?
You've gone for 4, obviously, not 3.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've gone for 4. So, will I give you the teams?
Yes, give me the teams.
Man City.
Man City.
Mr. Consistent. I gave them to you last week as well. I think it was in the last week's bet as well.
Kovacic?
No, the guy they're trying to crowbar into right back at the moment. One Mateus Nunes.
Tell you what, did all right last Sunday. Listen, he's not a right back.
No.
He did all right at what he had to do.
Yeah.
He did all right. I'll give him props.
Loves a card.
Loves a card.
Then I went Brighton versus Leicester, and it's Leicester. Your boy.
Boubacar Samari.
Absolutely. Nottingham Forest versus Everton. Went with Everton.
Everton. I think you're going to go with the obvious, Mr. James Tarkovsky.
No, I'm not. He is the obvious, but I thought the battle in this game is going to be in midfield.
Well, it will be. So then you've obviously gone. Have you gone Idrissa Gana Gay?
No.
Who have you gone for?
Doucouré.
Usually plays a bit higher up. He's almost like a 10 rather than in the impact zone, let's say. Does love a tackle though. Very physical sort of a boy. And
then I went with Arsenal versus Brentford. And I have a changed Arsenal side here now. So if Declan Rice isn't playing, and if Odegaard might not be playing, and if Thomas Partey may or may not play, who would be slotting into midfield there now?
I don't know. How many fucking midfielders do they have?
Ex-Chelsea.
Oh, Jorginho.
Surely he'll play on Saturday. Surely. And because he hasn't been getting much game time, he's another one who likes an old flick here or there.
Yeah, maybe.
And he's 3-1 he's 3-1 for a card alone. So there you go.
He's slow.
So you have Nunes at 10-3. You have Samare at 23-10. You have Doucouré at 5-2, and you have Jorginho at 3-1, and that pays 200 to 1.
Oh, very, very doable, right?
Yep. Oh, very, very doable.
Very, very doable.
So that's my bets. There you go. Let's see now. What have we got for Ted?
What have you got, Tedward?
Let's go through this. Joanne, Bertha is on the prowl. Could be. Guilty face. Ordered the Derry City shirt. You men got me hooked on the League of Ireland. There you go. Did you get wisdom on the back?
I hope not.
Think of Leicester, which would have been bigger, them winning the Champions League or them winning the Premier League. Obviously, they won the Premier League, but I mean, in that season, if they had to choose one or the other,
they'd absolutely chosen the Premier League.
Yeah. I would assume the money's bigger in it as well, is it? I would have thought so.
The Champions League might not be.
So, think for winning, what do you get for winning the Premier League? Is it like 140, 150 mil or something like that? It's big bucks,
Not
anyway.
100% sure.
Must have been in one of the kebab shops in Birmingham. Loves a card from more than Funky Pigeon. He does love a card more than Funky Pigeon. Right, here's Ted. GA. Forest versus Everton. Southampton versus Phil.
So it's goal or assist, but the fact he's got 5 and the odds are that low, he must be gone with at least 3 strikers here.
I would have thought at minimum.
Right. Forest Everton. Let's go with Morgan Gibbs White.
Okay. Southampton Villa.
Let's go with
You had Rodgers last week, didn't you?
No, we didn't need Asensio. Let's go with Rodgers this week.
Okay.
Arsenal, Brentford.
And Buemo?
I think in Buemo.
Yeah.
If it's not in Buemo, it's Saka, but I don't think Saka will start.
Chelsea Ipswich, he's definitely gone with Liam Delap, yeah? He's not gone with Chelsea. This is Ted. He can't have gone with Chelsea.
He's definitely gone with Chelsea. He's
You
gone
think?
with 100%. He's gone with do you know who I think he's gone with? Nicholas Jackson.
Really? And then Wolves versus Spurs?
Is it a returning Matthias Cunha this weekend?
Yeah.
I think he's gone Matthias Cunha.
Ted, let us know how we did.
Gibbs White. Oh, bring it back to me. Gibbs White.
Yeah.
Rodgers. I'm going Saka / Mbeumo.
2 out of 5.
Cunha and then.
Interesting.
Right, show us what you got, Ted.
Yeah. Let us know who it is.
Who have you got, Teddy? Teddy Bear.
Look what you could have won. It must be 42 to 1 for 5. I'm giving 400 to 1 here and all. I'm knocking it out of the park here.
You don't get many of them up, though, let's be honest here.
I don't. But then I don't see a lot of the other ones coming up in the group either. I know Ted got one up last week, didn't he? Didn't Ted have a winner last week?
He did. Elanga, Rodgers. I have Jackson and Rodgers.
Yeah.
I had Jackson. He's gone Solanke. Trossard. Okay.
Yeah, he'll play.
And Elanga. Yeah, Elanga's probably the shout over Gibbs White, I think, yeah. I'd have gone Gibbs White, but yeah, I like Rodgers and Jackson. I think in the last one I'd have gone Cunha because Wolves are Spurs are fucking desperate at the back.
Goal or assist, Ted, and you're putting Nicholas Jackson in there. That's the lad who'll kill you, I bet.
I think he's right. I think he's got it. Yeah.
Can't be including a Chelsea player in your bet if you want to win.
Yeah.
If you were doing that bet today, now you wouldn't have Nicholas Jackson in there in your bet, would you?
Yeah, possibly.
I don't think so.
Well, listen, I came up with it, so you know, Gibbs White was the same value as Elanga. There you go. I'd have gone Gibbs White. I'd have gone Rodgers. I'd have gone Embuemo. Spurs are short at the back. I'd have gone Cunha and I'd have gone Jackson. Yeah, I would.
That's a shout. Jackson is a bit of a main event, J.U. So co-main event.
I don't think so. Jey Uso's going to win a world title, Morris. Not sure if Jackson will.
Well, there we go, folks. The end of another show. Thanks for joining us as always. Make sure you're subscribing, hitting the bell notification and dropping a like. I'm on Monday with Mark.
Justin Rose is 8 under.
Yeah, he's flying.
Now, he's just had to hack out on 18. He drove it into the woods on 18. He's just had to hack out into the middle of the fairway. So he's going to have a wedge and a putt to finish at 8. Rory's tied second at 4, and he has a putt to go to 5 here.
See the poor old amateur today losing it?
No.
Yeah, I think he was he +4? And then he I think it got even worse. I think it was he was struggling big time. See you Monday. Yeah, Monday we might have a couple of guests on as well. We're going to be taking a look at that the Leeds game coming up in the Carlisle grounds with the Legends 11. Tony was on to me. So there's a few guests lined up. He hasn't told me who the guests are yet. So they might be surprises. So stay tuned. Make sure you check us out on Monday. Then there won't be any podcast pro wrestling one next week, but there will be lots of videos going up and snippets and things we've been doing and all, kind of little vloggy kind of stuff and all. But check out as well, I'm supposed to be interviewing Joe Hendry. Morris will let me know. And we will be having a look at TNA Unbreakable as well, plus loads of other stuff.
Am I going all by myself next Thursday night?
I don't know. Well, the last time you tried that, it didn't work, did it? It fell asunder, didn't it? Remember it stuttered and all, that the iPad wasn't strong enough for StreamYard. Remember when I was in Florida?
I've not done. No, I've done 2, haven't I?
No, the last one you did when I was in Florida at the Rumble, it all just fell asunder. Remember, and after 20 minutes, you just gave up. Do you remember? You were having a mare. It just kept on stuttering on you and stuff like that.
I do remember something.
But I mean, if you want to do it's up to yourself if you want. But if you want to do a video, if you want to do a rundown on predictions and results and do a video, no hassle. And we'll post the video. We'll do a video for a change instead of a live. Go that way.
Let's do that. I'll send you a couple. I'll do a couple of Beat the Bookies.
But there you go. Here, Morris offering up a service to do it with you. There you go. So we will hook that up.
See?
There you go. There you go.
We'll be holding it down, Morris.
Morris can stream it from here. There you go.
See?
There you go. We will hook that up. That's not a problem. It's not a problem.
See your boys helping you out a little.
Well, now I'm looking after him as well. Now I'm slotting into that Joe Hendry interview as well. He pinned me with Speedball Mike Bailey last time. That was tough.
He's giving me a step up.
Yes, he is giving me a step up. Right, folks, until next time, I will love you and leave you. I'll catch you Monday with Mark. We will have a couple of guests on. Who knows? You never know who might be on, but it's the Leeds charity match that's coming up, the Legends 11. We will go through that.
Is Marky back after his retirement, or what's the story?
Marky's back, out of him. It'll be sponsored. The Monday show is sponsored by Mattress Mick. Mattress Mick. There we go. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll hook all that up. Right, talk to you soon, folks. Have a good weekend. Hope all your teams lose, bar my one.